Welcome to Roll for Crit Playback. Today we will be playing Marvel Dice Masters, Avengers vs. X-Men by WizKids. This is a collectible card game. This is a starter set I'm holding right here. We were both lucky to get our hands on one. We also have a couple packs, each of us. So we'll be playing this game, each of us using our own collection. And we'll see where this goes.
Yes, we will.
I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes, and let's get started.
So, we have chosen our characters. We have chosen our basic actions. Are you ready?
I am ready. What cards will we be playing with?
I have Inner Rage and Distraction.
I have chosen Powerbolt.
Of course, I was expecting that.
One of my favorites. And Gearing Up.
Ah, I was thinking about that one.
I got Beast, but not the Beast that you're familiar with. This is Genetic Expert Beast. Spider-Man, Tiger, Gambit. When I feel them, I get to roll 2 extra dice. This one's not a surprise to you. I chose Venom. Then I got Iron Man, but another new one, Philanthropist.
Huh, really?
So, sounds like you know him.
Yeah, I do.
And finally, Cyclops, Seven Coster. When he attacks, he deals his damage to all opposing characters.
Great lineup. I'm really hating it already.
I can't wait to see yours.
I have chosen Beast as well, but the one I love, Mutant 666. Next one was Human Torch. Tiger as well.
All right, we got some spider on spider action.
Storm, Goddess of the Plains.
Yep.
What do you know? Iron Man, Philanthropist.
They're both so generous to us.
It's not quite so. And finally,
I know it's coming.
I was lucky to get this one in a pack. Wolverine, Knucklehead. I only have one, but hopefully that's all I'll need.
Hopefully.
If he attacks alone, he can't block. So all those guys he's prepping to give himself a defense, he can go through it, which I'm banking on. I'm gonna draw from my dice bag. You can actually guess, because no matter what, I will pick the same thing. So 4 of the
If something
basic.
else comes out of there, you're cheating.
No, I'm not gonna cheat yet.
Okay. It's too obvious now.
I'm gonna take my 4 dice and roll them. All right, let's see.
You rolled them well.
I did. I'm gonna spend all 4 to buy both of my beast die.
Oh, so you got an early start, but now you've got nothing in your field right now.
True.
I will draw 4 as well, and like you, I know what they are. Yep, that's 4. All right, let's see what we got. By the way, it's an official rule in the book. If it goes off the table, you re-roll it, which I like. I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity, and I'm gonna buy one of my beasts with these 2, but I will attack you with one of them.
Okay. So I take 1 damage, and I have no global abilities. I'm a little disappointed in myself, actually.
Okay, so that's not too bad. I like that. I can keep track of
I should have put more global abilities in.
Oh, well.
Because I know that you don't like them. Funny how you're the one who has a global ability and you don't like them. I will
Jonathan.
attack with 1 of them. No, I'm not attacking with it, silly me.
So you're done.
I'm done. Go ahead, roll.
All right.
I forgot. You actually get that back. I'm helping you.
Theoretically, I could get another free hit on you.
Mm-hmm.
But then I would be, again, it's always such a, I always want to keep my field full.
If you recall, in one of our early episodes, we talked about analysis paralysis. You're gonna see a lot of it this game. Now, it's different. It could possibly be 1, maybe 2 beasts. I really hope so.
That would be...
1, 2, nope, not a single beast.
Well, now you know your next turn, though, you will get both of them.
That's true, but I was really hoping for them now. I'm gonna spend 3 to buy 1 of those power bolts.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about these cards. All right, they need dice sleeves. Anyway.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to imagine that now. And what do you know? 2 beasts.
What do you know?
Let's see what I get.
Oh boy.
Ooh, I like this.
A beast in the bag is worth 2 in the hand.
Oh, and that one too. I forgot to move that too.
Come on, Spider-Man, come on. Where are we at, buddy? Not there. You gotta stick with it?
I'm going to stick with this.
Oh, sorry, with it.
And I'm going to bolt you for 2 damage.
Oh, snap. All right, that puts me down to 13. Unlucky. Oh, no traditional attacks from you.
No, not now.
Why bother when you have lightning bolts to do it for you? I want Spider-Man. I want him to attack for me. Spider-Man, my friend. But I'm gonna take this because I don't want you to get all of them.
Yeah, I was trying to do my best to make sure you didn't get them. I'm a little disappointed that you thought that.
I know. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna not do anything.
All right.
We're very conservative here.
I'm gonna re-roll all 3 of these.
I see. See how it is. Didn't do you much good.
No, I did exactly what I wanted.
Well, forget it. So, Marvel Dice Masters, as you said at the top of the show, collectible game, that there's going to be additional sets of different licenses in the future.
So far, we know that next is Uncanny X-Men.
Right.
And after that is actually Dungeons and Dragons.
And somewhere down the pipeline will be DC.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! We've heard.
Yes, and Yu-Gi-Oh!
Which, I mean, if you speculate, that means they have multiple Shonen Jump, which means we might see your other One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach, your other big Shonen Jump mangas. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
We will see. But presumably they're all going to play the same way. So we're going to talk about this with our knowledge of just the base game. Mm-hmm. Of course, in the future, there may be changes because as most collectible card games go, stuff happens,
plus,
new sets come out.
This is a new game. There have been many rules which people have brought up to WizKid, and they did send an email, which they later retracted. So play at your own risk.
Right, and another thing I think we should mention is this game is very hard to find right now.
Oh,
at the time we're recording it. But I think we should operate on the hypothetical that in the near future, you'll be able to go pick this up somewhere pretty easily.
Right.
Personally, right at this moment, we carry the packs, but we don't have the starter sets on rollforcrit.com. But I don't want to harp on that too much because I'm being optimistic.
Yes.
Right. But the game itself, so we've had a handful of games in, mm-hmm. and I've really enjoyed it. Overall, it's it's designed by one of the guys I know who worked on Quarriors. So if you ever played that, it's sort of like a combination of Quarriors and Magic the Gathering is the common way that people describe it.
Yeah. And I think that also shows where, well, it's not really a flaw. It's only a flaw now, mostly because how WizKid has handled this.
Right.
Because it's so rare, we were lucky to get a few packs. And what you really want are a lot of dice for your character. Like, the cards can be different. Like, there's multiple Wolverines, multiple Beasts, whatever.
Right.
But their dice are always the same, whichever the character is.
The dice are really, if you're using Magic as the analogy, the dice are your cards.
Yes.
And the cards are just sort of telling you what the dice do.
Yeah. And, like, when you see in our game, we have mostly 2 on each card. 3 for each of us have one, lucky for packs. But most of them say a max, they actually tell you in the corner, of 4. Or 3.
Right.
And we don't have that, which is a little disappointing.
It's definitely so. And this is the first time that we've really talked about a collectible game. Mm-hmm. And I know you play Magic. Yep. I used to play Pokemon, but I haven't really done anything like that for a long time. So it definitely is an obstacle of any of these kinds of games that you got to get packs. If you really, you can play a decent game, I think, with just the base set. But if you really want to switch things up, and especially, if you want to be competitive, you really got to buy some boosters. Well, fortunately, they're cheap.
Not only that, what happens is you'll get a pack, like this one I got in a pack, which is a rare. We'll talk about the rare system later. And I'm like, oh, I want to have a lot to use or something. I only have the 1 die, which I'm holding right now.
Right.
And in particular for a lot of your cards, which you have, I would love to have multiples of.
Right. It's like even having the rare card isn't always good enough.
Yeah, no. In fact, this is the first time we played 4 games now.
Yeah, something like that. 4 or 5.
This is the first time we've used the Wolverine card, even though all the other games he's been around.
Right. So far, every time I used him and was never able to get up to him, or just never got around to it. But I want to start out, we already started, but I want to continue to talk about, I said it's a cheap game, which
yeah, no, that's the biggest.
it's a plus. It's also, I think, a bit of a negative because the game doesn't cost that much money. The components, I think, are not spectacular.
Right.
The cards are pretty thin, and especially in the booster packs, they come packaged in a way that I think all of ours, I know in my experience, they were all a little bent.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, and I put mine in like hard case, covered hard book on it. You can still see a little curve on this pack card.
Which is a good thing. And the dice, although the dice are very cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, that's see-through and...
Yeah, and they all have their unique designs depending on the character they're for.
Though some are really sad. Like one's like just Mystique's face or something like.
You know, not everybody can get the coolest style.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are also, they fade easily.
I know, you can see that on this one. Here, well, we won't. You don't need to. But like you can already see the one fade here. But what's nice is they foresaw that, and on the bottom of the cards show you everything.
So that is nice. And the art. What do you think of the art on the cards?
I like most of them. I feel. I think it should be noted that what's nice is since with the cards, what you do is you just have them out in the field. Since they're just on the field, they're not shuffled. Therefore, the cheapness doesn't really show as bad as like.
No, that's true. They don't need to be as sturdy as a game where you're shuffling all the time.
Another really nice thing about this is it's really easy to proxy. Like usually, you know, with Magic the Gathering, when you shuffle your deck, you proxy. You might write on a card or something because you want them to be the same quality shuffle, so you don't know. But in this, you literally can get a piece of paper to be the Wolverine card.
Right.
So you can still demo out much easier, which is really helpful for some cards that might be going for $50 or something.
That is a good point because if you really want to play this at home and you don't want to spend a lot of money and hope to get on a rare card or buy a ton of boosters, you got to have a bunch of dice and you got to make them the way you want them and stuff like that. But like you said, you can have a decent set if you're just playing casually.
Well, what I think is also another cool idea, which makes up for this, it really lends itself to maybe people trying to make their own cards. Like maybe someone makes a set for something they don't have a license for, like Pokemon. And maybe they can put out their cards and people can try it out. And maybe WizKids might even be like, let's see what they do and maybe borrow some of the abilities.
Which Pokemon makes perfect sense for this.
Well, yes, it does, but...
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
However, speaking on rarities...
Let's speak on rarities.
I think that brings us to a problem I have with WizKid. Apparently, each gravity feed, which we have... Oh no, I put it back, my mistake. You can see in the back of our video when we're playing.
Gravity feed is the pack of all the boosters.
They always come with 1 or 2 rares if it's correct. So what people will do is a lot of chains, they'll buy every pack, keep opening till they get the rares, and then return the rest. Which bothers me a little because it means you're literally ruining it forever.
In Magic, there's a certain number of probability of rares per pack, correct?
Right, but not in the box. Not like each box.
Individual booster.
Right.
In this, it is the entire pack. Oh, thanks so much. So as you can see, each one comes with 2 cards and 2 dice. But it's not like there's a 50% chance that this has a rare in it.
We would like to open one for you, but to be fair, we want to let you to actually buy them.
But in the entire pack, there's like 1 really rare card, right? So yeah, it is a little bit of a different kind of system, but I don't know how you could really avoid that since there are only 2 cards in a pack.
I understand. I guess it just bothers me how people are reacting to this. Maybe it's because it's so rare. Maybe this won't be an issue. Yes.
But let's talk about the game itself. Mm-hmm. So I think that the most obvious thing that most people are going to compare this to is Magic, because that is the big CCG. And essentially that's what this is, even though it's with dice instead of cards. So for you, how does it compare, do you think, in terms of playing the game and how much strategy there is and that kind of thing that you enjoy?
In Magic, one of the big things is you might have a lot of kill spells. And this is really useful to get rid of those creatures that are being a problem. In this, killing can actually hurt you more. Because what happens is when you kill them, instead of going into the KO, which have to cycle back and to be recycled, they go into a prep area and they get them. It's almost giving them more cards to draw.
Right. The idea, I guess, is if their character gets knocked out, they have to re-roll it. So you hope that this time they get energy instead of a character.
The thing is, I really wish there was a way that maybe like those dice you get from the prep can only be re-rolled once, or maybe.
Well, that was what you said was a house rule,
right?
Which I think sounds quite good.
Because it just becomes really annoying, especially if someone has a lot of the cheap creatures, the beast, which I showed for example. Because I think all but one of his, I can actually check right now. Yes, all but one of his to play the dice costs 1. So, and they're meant for blocking, so literally they keep getting those blockers out, and it just becomes the most like, you don't even attack anymore when I have a beast out.
Right. That's the biggest. The game is fairly simple on the surface. The biggest thing where I stumble, where I've just been starting to get the hang of lately, is attacking and not attacking, because, like you said, there's so many variables of, first of all, alone, all the different abilities triggering. But then, if I kill that, and it's my turn, and I'm attacking, on their next turn, they just get to roll like twice as many dice, and meanwhile, my guys might be off the field. So it's often a disadvantage to even attack. And I think part of that is we aren't using all the right cards, and we don't have access to it goes a little deeper than that. But I do think part of it is it's just a little weird and a little different from most games that I've played to wrap your head around that system. I almost want to put my Spider-Man forward just to try and roll a better one next time. Even though he's a pretty decent character. The obvious choice would be to put forward these guys and block, and then you're hoping that I can't re-roll them after. Whatever, I will block 1 and 1, the obvious thing.
All right, they both die. Both go to our prep area.
Okay.
And it is your turn.
Hoping for Gambit, because that would be helpful. Maybe Beast, if I can ever get them out of my bag.
He can get his hand out of his bag.
It's like that Simpsons episode. It went off the table. Oh boy. Oh, there it is. Oh, I got it. I'm down to 8 health.
I'm still at 14.
You're at 14. That power bolt that I brought has really helped you.
Yeah, it has, immensely. All right, my turn?
I haven't decided yet.
All right, of course you may attack.
He
hasn't yet.
I did. That's
the very first time, that's true. I'm definitely keeping that.
I'm gonna die by bolt. I'm calling it here. That way, even if I lose, I'm still right.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
I'm buying Wolverine.
Which I gotta say, is, at this point, having played a little bit, 6 cost of Wolverine does not seem that high at all. Maybe you do disagree.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of times with you and me, we kept buying no more than 5.
I kind of just want to see Wolverine in action, because he'll kill me.
So do I. That's one of the reasons I'm excited about.
Oh.
Excuse me.
He's got an allergic reaction to hurting me.
Would you like to use any globals?
No thanks. I'm okay.
Go ahead. You sure you don't want to spin down your venom?
It actually has to be an opponent's character.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I totally would. I just don't like him getting too full of himself.
Yeah, you gotta take him down a notch.
You gotta. He gets all antsy and starts eating your brain and stuff. So I actually will attack because, I don't know, why not?
Who will you attack with?
Very great question. Very great question. That would be the follow-up to that statement, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna have him block that one.
Beast on beast.
Beast on beast. And
but you just can't kill the beast. And now we gotta pay money for that.
I'm gonna have beast.
I was out of pitch enough that.
And keeping that.
So far I like it. I would keep this if I were you.
No, that's being re-rolled, no question. As well as this.
I don't think the folks at home want to even see Wolverine.
Oh no, they want to see him go.
The folks at home are more into DC comics.
I'm going to hit you for 2 damage.
I'm gonna die, aren't I?
Yep. Then I attack with Wolverine alone. And because he's attacking alone, he cannot be blocked.
And that whittles me down to nothing. Is there a 0 on that?
No, there's not 0 on that.
It's not a 21-sided die?
No, it is not.
I guess we just... Well, that was pretty much a slaughter.
What is very interesting, which is different from Magic,
Yes.
comparing, when you bring your cards to your table, you have your heroes, those are yours, but you each bring basic actions. Now these basic actions are like sort of would be your instant sorceries in Magic, but anyone can get them.
And I like that. I think that's cool because
You'll actually see how that affects this game.
right. I think that's cool because it means that someone else could have those are basic actions. In tournament mode, is it still basic ones? It's not, you can't put regular actions there ever.
No,
right?
it's always basic ones that are shared.
Right, so.
Well, how that makes that interesting
Yeah.
is you never know how, because your gameplay might change completely. Like mine was like, you have bolts out, I'm gonna go for those. I didn't buy any of mine.
Right.
And speaking of sharing things, global abilities.
That's the big one. That's what I was thinking of, is that.
All cards, whether they're basic, heroes, any of card, can have something called a global ability. With this, you pay whatever it says, and it doesn't affect. No matter who owns the card, anyone can activate it.
Even if that card, a die hasn't been purchased from that card.
Correct.
You can always use this ability. And there's opportunities for both players to use them on each other's turns too, which definitely creates an interesting dynamic, and it means that you can take advantage of your opponent's cards, and you
They
have to
can take
think
advantage of yours.
too about, like on the Venom, I had to think about, his ability is if you can roll a fist character down a level, but he is a fist character, so that hurts me. It's almost like a nerf to him, that ability.
Well, I think that's actually the main reason why that one in particular is on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it pretty much makes it so once the game's set up, you have to think completely different. Like, all right, I see there's these global abilities. Maybe I should start making sure I leave masks out for this, or whatever I know it's not actually called masks, but.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like melee. Mask is like intrigue or something. The different energy sources in the game. We just call them masks.
The one thing I really wish they did is we showed in the beginning, I believe, we printed out.
Right. Going back to the components, they did not include a playmat, and.
Well, they technically did,
Well,
but it's a small one in the rulebook about this big.
It's in the rule book. It's hard to use that because we don't need it. Because
You want to look it
You
up?
might want to look something up in the rules. It's a little inconvenient.
Actually.
And the bags that they include.
Yeah,
also,
let's actually show them right
they
here.
ain't great.
Here's the rulebook. There it is, which is fun when you have to look up something.
Yeah.
And the lovely bags.
These are the bags that you need to put your dice in and roll from every turn. It's thin paper. So just like again, there's a reason the game is so cheap.
Yes.
And I think overall, I prefer the cut corners in that regard in exchange for the cheap price. I think it's a fair trade-off.
It works off in this situation because the bags we got, they're not that expensive and you can use them for other things. Heck, some games come with bags and we were thinking of using that first.
Right.
The playmats we have are print out. They do make a playmat.
They do, an official one?
Yes.
Because last time, for a while, they did not. So they must
Apparently, they just said they. I'm sorry.
You can just put that down. It's
Yeah.
okay. But so you know what you're getting into. Yeah, it's the price is what it is for a reason. But I feel like we're being a little negative when overall I really.
No,
like
I would highly suggest. I mean, once again, the cheapness is so nice. I mean, being able to go to your local comic book store, whether you have a Target that sells them if you're lucky enough, you go in like, I'm gonna buy 3 packs.
Right.
In Magic, that would be $12 possibly, which is like, you can get a meal with that, or something to eat. Maybe not a really big meal, but like this, it can be like it's like 3 something, right?
That's it's 99 cents a pack. So you're doing pretty well. I agree. And in the game itself, it feels really good to roll the dice. I think it's a great mechanic because there's something very just tactile and satisfying about just having like 10 or 8 dice in your hand and rolling them all. And
Oh yeah,
seeing
no.
the results.
That's the one like we were saying before with KOing things. It feels so good when someone attacks you and kills all your stuff. Because then you're like, yeah, I have 8 dice. I'm gonna buy everything.
And then it ends up, I didn't get anything I wanted. Never mind. But I definitely think that I want to play this game a lot more, and I want to buy a lot more packs. So I guess that's what their plan is working, because.
Oh no, I want to get a whole box and just open things. Not just because of rare. I just want more dice.
Well, because the thing is, there are so many. Well, actually, at this point in time, there are not comparatively that many different cards, but there are enough, I feel, to make the different games very different. The variability, depending on what each player brings, can change a lot. And I really feel like I want to play this a bunch more times with a bunch of different combinations before I can wrap my head around it.
Well, what I really like is I think it really lends itself to copyright style gameplay, like with Marvel.
Copyright style.
Right. I mean, like using trademark.
Yeah.
Like with X-Men, I can't wait to mix, like, I'm going to have Wolverine running in with, a Blue Eyes White Dragon and some spells from I don't know, they'll have hidden spells or something with Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, so that's the other thing. As you said, it's a license. We're both huge Marvel fans. We've talked about it before and stuff.
It's why we're wearing Marvel shirts.
Right. Oh yeah. I don't know if we mentioned that. If you noticed at all. But so in terms of like theme, it's not something that's really gonna knock your socks off. You can't think about it too hard about why is Beast attacking himself.
It's not legendary.
Right. Which even legendary is not the best, but it's
comparatively
leagues better than this. Leagues better than this. But for me, I don't know a big draw of the reason I wanted to get into this game. Number one, the cheapness. Number two, it seemed fun. Mm-hmm. But the big number three is Marvel. And I don't know, had they launched with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or even DC, I might not have wanted to get into it as much.
Well, a good thing is you're the one who told me about this initially, I remember, because he heard about Marvel on. And I feel like maybe because maybe that was their plan initially, the reason why it's so hard to find, because I feel like with them we'd probably be like, okay, this is hard to find, we want to get our hands on it.
Yeah.
The I don't have it, I want it principle.
Right.
But I mean, the fact that what was great that they announced they already had DC when they announced Marvel.
That's true.
So literally it was like, it doesn't matter which camp you're on, you're going to get both, which is win-win for us, because I would love both. I want Spider-Man, Batman.
No, I agree. With both, I definitely want both because I want to match them up. Absolutely.
Because, well, as you know, there is the legendary game we mentioned before. There's also the DC deck building by Cryptozoic.
So to max Mitchum to...
So, like, you can't... Both of them are getting copyrights. I mean, get different, like, titles. And it's like, oh, I wish I sort of could mix them up. Like, because you want to see... This is the answer, like, well, you can now.
This satisfies your itch a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, it's good. It makes you happy.
At least it will at some point. So do you want final recommendations? Do you have anything else you want to touch on, hit on?
The only thing I can think of is there are some talks about people making custom pouches and like feeling around dice. Just play the game.
He's talking about the potential danger of people when drawing their dice feeling for the one they want and cheating in that way. I mean, if someone's playing that way, just don't play with them.
Or make it so opponents draw. Yeah, just have fun.
Yeah, don't.
I mean, if you can find it, grab it.
This is a PSA from us.
This is definitely, I think, a really great game. You can play with just one starter set. We use two. We should mention that.
Right.
It comes with enough to play with a game with one starter set. I mean, obviously, grab as many as you can to play with. I mean, don't grab them just to sell them on eBay. Let other people have fun.
I would hope so. I will say, for me, I would definitely recommend if you're a fan of Magic and any kind of collectible card game, you will probably enjoy this. It's what?
Sorry, I'll wait until you finish.
Okay, this is my wrap up.
Well, I'm just reminding you, if you're a fan of Magic, you won't break the bank going to this as well. Usually it becomes hard to do two collectible trading card games.
Right. It's a cheaper alternative. You don't have to worry about, most people are not into Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they would live on the street.
But you still live on the street.
Right. So that's a plus. The only thing I would say, it's a little hard because I feel like with these collectible games, you got to have friends who are into it because part of the fun is
playing with a friend,
trading and saying, oh, I got this new pack and I got these new cards and stuff and seeing what you got. And also, if you're a really die-hard Marvel fan,
die-hard,
and you're getting this for that, get Legendary. This isn't the place to go for, oh, I really want to feel like Spider-Man and that kind of thing. It has a little bit of that flavor to it, but not to that extent. But I would definitely, it's so cheap, I think it's worth it to at least pick up the starter set and see if you are into it, because it's a sound investment, it's fun.
I mean, even if you can find a couple packs, get them. You know, you're probably going to spend a few dollars getting a couple packs, just open them, play around with the dice. I know it took us, we got packs first.
Right.
Before. So we were always playing around. We were getting excited, like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know what this card does, but I can't wait.
Then again, we are nerds. But
Yes.
maybe you are too.
I mean, I definitely suggest that. I don't think it's too difficult to learn. So like.
Other than, I mean, definitely it helps to have someone walk you through it.
Yeah.
If you're not a gamer per se, but in the big scheme of things, it's fairly straightforward.
And I mean, I guess technically we should mention these are smaller than usual die.
Sure, but you have a lot in your hands, so you would
I meant
not-
more for like choking hazards.
Yes, don't feed them to your children. Unless you mash them up first. So I think that covers it, right? We both like the game a lot.
We both think it's definitely a great collectible trading card game. It's something new to the collectible trading card game pool in general.
And we're looking forward to see how it grows and changes.
Yeah, so
If you have played the game or have any thoughts about it, liked what you saw today, you want to comment on our video or Will's Wolverine victory over myself, then you can leave us a comment on YouTube or send us an email. Our address is rollforcrit@gmail.com.
we actually, one more thing we should mention, sorry. There are actually tournaments where they're giving away promos. Currently there are 4 promos. You get 1 promo, which is a basic action, for just participating. You get, if you're in the place in the top 3, you get one of a special hero. So far, the 2 cards, the promos that you get, I don't recall what their name. I know one's Teamwork, which actually gives bonuses for if your characters are the same team. So like if you use all X-Men or
That's
something.
cool.
The other 2 is a Spider-Man card, who if you pay 3 fifths, wow. He costs 6. You cut your opponent's life in half. It's similar to the other one, but this one, it always cuts in half. So you can keep cutting them in half.
So you get cool promos.
And the other one's a Thor, yes. I think is actually
And
better
the other
artwork.
one's a Thor.
I forget his ability because
That's okay.
I only found out recently about the Thor. So check those out.
Check out your tournaments.
Yeah.
Look at tournaments.
Look at-
Send us your pictures of you tournamenting.
Send us your dice shaming pictures of this game as well. There's plenty of dice shaming in this match.
You can also send them to us on Twitter, isn't that correct?
Oh, you can.
At rollforcrit or at Quentz.
At Dorokiryu.
And at Ivan Arhan, our other guy. And please subscribe and like and all that other stuff if you want. And you can find some Marvel Dice Master stuff on our site, rollforcrit.com.
And if you found any other places, please tell us your journey to find these rare gifts.
Like deep in the mountains, you travel for
Target.
days. Indeed, with a fellowship probably.